Hello Latin 5 class, this is my Latin journey. To start off, I just want to say that the classics department at BLS is truly amazing. I wouldn't be where I am today if it hadn't been for the support and guidance of all of the teachers that I've had here at BLS. Looking back, I think that I would describe my Latin experience as superb. We'll get to what that means in a second. The one word I would describe 7th grade Latin with is start. It was the start of my time here at BLS, and it was also the start of my Latin journey. I took middle school Latin with Miss Mogel, and that was one of the most transformative years of my life. When we learned about the ancient Romans and their culture and mythology and history, I really found myself interested in it and I wanted to pursue it more. One of the things that helped kickstart my love of mythology was the mythology project that Miss Mogel had us do term 3, where we had to read a part of the Iliad, Odyssey, or Aeneid and make a PowerPoint or some sort of presentation to creatively express that information to the class. That memory and all of the information from that project has been ingrained in my brain since. 7th grade was also the start of my time in the JCL, which clearly impacted my life severely if you could look by the t-shirt I'm wearing, the certificates on the wall, and my jersey and medals from this past state convention. I wish I could spend more time talking about JCL, but I do only have 5 minutes here. The word I would use to describe 8th grade is understanding. Because that was the year that I first began to understand what it meant to translate Latin. In 8th grade, it was all about translation. I had Miss Lodang in the 8th grade, and we spent so much time analyzing vocab words, derivatives, and the most impactful part of that class was the translating of the Hercules. I started getting more into the grammar of it all when I started doing Curtamen more seriously, and once again was a really important foundation for my later years. Next, 9th grade. The word I would use to describe 9th grade was preparation. Mr. Chivero's class in Latin 3 truly taught me what it meant to prepare for Latin class. We had surprise quizzes, surprise translations, even surprise tests. After some bad experiences, I learned that you really have to be on your A game all the time. And his class taught me what it meant to really take that Latin knowledge and be able to apply it. And that was probably the most impactful part of that class, and that not only helped me in Latin class, but helped me throughout the rest of my high school career. The word that I would use to describe 10th grade Latin was exploration. Ms. Naufeld's class, it was very self-oriented. We did a whole entire project on Cicero after translating the first Catilinarian, and that project of analyzing my own speech, discovering the themes and what Cicero was trying to convey were really important because they kickstarted my interest in ancient Roman culture, language, etc. So it allowed me to explore different material, different authors like Cicero, Ovid, even some Virgil and some Horace. Next, my penultimate year of Latin, which was AP Latin in the 11th grade. And I would describe AP Latin with one word: realization. AP Latin was when I realized the impact of classics and how clearly interested I was in the whole subject matter. When going through Virgil and Caesar and analyzing all of those different aspects of culture and history that could be found within those two texts, I realized that I truly did love the classics. And I realized that I really do want to study this in the future. And that was a really big deal because when applying to colleges and all that sort of thing, that whole idea of studying classics was a huge, huge part of what I was looking for in an institution. Finally, my last year of Latin was this year, 12th grade, in Ms. House's class. Yes, I would describe this year of Latin as best. This year was one of the hardest years that I've ever had to go through, with all of the stress and anxiety over college and everything that seniors have to worry about. But Latin class was like a haven for me. So I could look at the angst and the craziness that went on in Catullus' life, and I could sort of escape from the craziness of my own. And Miss Housey was an amazing guide throughout this process, teaching us how to analyze for theme, tone, and meaning, but also teaching us what it meant to write a good paper and how to make a great final product from the ideas that were going on in our heads. And sure, they say the final moments are often the sweetest, but I can truly say that this was the best year of Latin that I have taken. I feel so prepared now to take this interest and move on with it into the future, And it's all because of these 6 years of Latin that I'm able to do so. I don't know if I want to become a Latin teacher when I grow up, although it is a possibility. But, you know, I will take these memories and these values with me wherever I go, no matter what field or what career path I end up in. And for that, and all my Latin teachers, JCL sponsors, everyone, I say, gracias, vobis-ando. I am indebted to you so much for everything that you've done for me. Vale te omnes.